Maddie and Payton's small group leader, and I have been incredibly blessed to just witness their faith this year. They're both kind and smart. They're good friends to each other and to other people. They are capable, and they have this incredibly mature faith that has been so cool to watch. I feel like they just know themselves really well, and they know God really well, and that gives them this confidence that they are God's, and that God's on their side, and they walk through their life like that. And I feel like that good quality kind of leaks into a lot of areas of their life. So I am excited to see what God does with these ladies. Maddie is creative and bold, and we've got Payton. She's an amazing leader. She's got a great humility about her, and I know that God has great plans for them, and I am just blessed to be able to witness their faith as it is now, let alone even what God's going to do with them in their future. So good luck, ladies. You're going to be great.
My favorite thing about Payton is that she's like a mom to us, and she cooks for us. She drives us around, and she's super trustworthy and dependable.
My favorite thing about Payton is the weird jokes that she makes and her ability to make anyone laugh, whether you're sad, happy, or mad.
My favorite things about Payton are not only her amazing skills in the kitchen and cookie decorating, but she spreads kindness to everybody, and she has the best qualities that make a best friend.
Maddie is very kind, while also being very short. Despite her chronic dwarfism, she is also very good at helping me when I'm struggling with baseball or school. She is really smart and very athletic. Other than her shortness, she is the type of person I strive to be. A kind, helpful, smart, athletic person.
I'm so excited for Maddie to see what the future holds for her. She has so many interests, and there are many possibilities for her future. I've been fortunate enough to spend a lot of time in the car as we traveled to and from softball tournaments. She knew that I enjoyed it, but I don't think she ever really understood all of why. My real enjoyment came from learning about her. She would talk about God, and I would learn about her faith. She would talk about a school subject that she was interested in, like psychology, and I would learn about her intellect. She would tell me one of the many stories that she was writing, and I would learn about her creativity. She'd talk about friends, and I'd learn about her kindness. She'd tell me all these stories and give me some insights into her dreams and who she is and what she wants to become. These are my favorite memories. I learned much about her and what she wants to be. I can't wait to see what's next. Love you, Maddie.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better day to talk about one of my proudest achievements in life, but on Mother's Day, to talk about how proud I am of my daughter, Madeline Ray. Gosh, where do I begin? You just amaze me. Your accomplishments, your strengths, your passion, and dedication at age 18 constantly have me in awe. There's no doubt in my mind that you can achieve anything you desire and do it remarkably. Lately, everyone has been asking me how I'm holding up with your graduation from high school. I respond that with every next step in your life, I have always been excited and not sad, because you are always ready for that next step, and I do not have any reason to worry about you. I'm just excited and anxious to see what you will do next. But in these last few weeks, thinking about your commencement and going to Kalamazoo, I've realized how much I will miss you being at home. Because not only do I love you with every ounce of my being, but I also like you and think you're a pretty cool person to hang with. I could not be any prouder of the young woman you have become. You are smart, hardworking, beautiful inside and out, and you will do amazing things with all the wonderful gifts that God has blessed you with. I love you so much, Maddie.
Hey, Pay. Some of my favorite things about you are that you're kind, you're generous, wise beyond your years. I love that you're willing to try new things and just conquer them. You have an excitement for just being adventurous. And honestly, my favorite memories in the past few years of high school here have been just watching your faith journey grow and how you've learned to listen to God and seek His will in everything that you're doing. And honestly, that is the greatest blessing a mother could ask for.
My favorite things about Payton, first thing that jumps out to me is just her wacky and zany sense of humor. When she gets going, she can just be a real crack up. As a father, I'm super proud of her confidence and her sense of identity, just knowing who she is. She never backs down from any challenge, regardless of what others think or say, kind of going back towards that confidence factor. Save for roller coasters, not a huge fan of roller coasters. She has a huge caring heart and is just beautiful inside and out. I also love that she thinks puppies are just adorable.
Payton is my best friend and my older sister. She's a really good role model and we always have the best time together. I love that she can make me laugh and that she takes me places that I need to go. And it's just really fun hanging out with her and spending time with her, and I love to see what she does in the future.
Hi ladies, it's Cass. I miss you. I miss your beautiful faces. I'm so excited for you as you're stepping into this new chapter. It's so amazing. I know you're going to do incredible things as you get older and continue to just pursue all that God has in front of you. I just want to encourage you to remain rooted in the Lord, remain rooted in your identity in Him. And if you can do that, then everything will fall into place. I love you both. Please never hesitate to reach out if you need anything at all. Love you.
All right, well, welcome. We're doing something a little different today. As you noticed, we don't have Edge, but what we are going to do is we're going to interview two of our graduating seniors. So we have Madeline Lovins and we have Payton Szymanski, who are Oxford graduates, and you're done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were just saying they're all done, they're set, they're not going back to any more days of school, which I'm sure some of you are a little bit jealous of. But they said they would be willing to do their senior stories or their last words online. So thanks for checking in with us today, and I'm sure you got a treat ahead of you. So we got a couple of questions. So first of all, I want to know, what's your story? Tell us your story. To someone who doesn't know who you are, give us a little minute or two intro to your life. And Maddie, I don't know if you want to go first. Or you want Payton to go first?
I can go.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, so I've grown up a Christian. My whole family is Christian, and my grandma is the most Christian person, so she's kind of been my idol growing up, and I've always wanted to kind of be like her and believe like her. But my faith was never really my own until freshman year when I went to Wild, and I kind of got to feel God's presence, and I got to kind of hear Him and got to know what He's like, and my faith became my own, and I started having an identity in Him. And then from there, I've kind of obviously had waves, and it's been kind of a roller coaster, but faith has definitely grounded me throughout my entire high school experience, and I feel like it will continue to.
Yeah, awesome.
I kind of the same story. My parents are Christian. I've grown up in the church my whole life, and my dad was actually a teaching pastor, or not a pastor, teaching helper, but he was always back in with the kids area and kind of raised my faith just because he was always one, teaching the lessons, and I just learned all of the stories from him, and my faith was definitely founded from both of my parents. And so same thing where I wasn't until it was around, I want to say 6th or 7th grade when I started actually developing my own faith and my own relationship, because it was always, I believed my parents believed. And then it wasn't until my friends and different people started questioning certain beliefs that I thought I had. And then I thought I was kind of challenged to develop my own understanding and understand, that does make sense. Then, looking into my own, trying to figure out what I believed. And it was kind of that upbringing. And then I also went to a different church in Clarkston for most of my life, where my dad taught as well. And it wasn't until freshman year that I moved to, or we didn't move, but we had started going to Kensington, and I just have grown from here, and I have found a way better community. It's been amazing here, and because I definitely had a challenge when I was at the other church, where I didn't really, even though I grew up with the kids, I didn't really have a personal connection with a lot of them, and because I was so far away and didn't really engage. I think because my parents were so involved, I just kind of fell under my dad's wing and kind of sat and didn't really talk, and my sister and I would just do our own thing, and so I never really had my own, couldn't really make it my own. So definitely coming to a new church was a new start, and it was really good transformation. So
yeah, and so I've known you since, was it about your freshman year? Or,
yeah, I think so.
Just at the end of middle school. And then Maddie, how long have I known you? I've known you quite a long time. You guys have been at Kensington for a while.
Yeah, I've been here since I think 4th grade.
Yeah,
I've been here a long time.
Yeah, like way back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So long ago in 4th grade.
Yeah, so long ago.
But you're almost the same height. Almost.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I think I shrunk, actually.
You could throw something at me. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, so tell me, I know you two, of all of our students, I know you probably have some of the strongest faith that I've seen. So I would love to hear, like, in your words, like, what does a relationship with Christ look like?
For me, a relationship with Jesus is all about the effort. And I've kind of learned that, like, over time, when I'd sit down, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to spend 10 minutes reading the Bible. But then if I didn't, like, actually try, then it was like, what was the point? Like, this is like, you didn't spend time with me. It's about, like, carving out, like, 5 minutes to pray, or it's about, like, thinking about him, like, in the car and turning off the radio. Like, it's like the little things. It's about the effort, and that's what the relationship with Jesus is. It's me making effort to spend time with him.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and then I think for me too, my biggest thing with, like, my personal relationship with God is, like, being able to come to him first and ask for, like, being completely vulnerable, and, like, because he does know everything, he's all knowing, and like, being completely honest with yourself and Jesus, and, like, having that like, transparency, I think is for me, like, the biggest thing, and being able to come to him first when you have any issue, or, like, because I definitely feel like and this is kind of the biggest thing that I've learned too, just with, like, developing my relationship, is that I would kind of make it my last resort. Like, I'd try everything in my willpower to, like, figure something out, or whatever it was, like a problem. And I would definitely just try to do everything try everything that I could do. And then it wasn't until I started realizing that, like, when I did ask for help, or even just, like, being honest with him and with myself, that's when I actually found results, or when I found, like, the patience that I needed, or whatever it was that I was, like, kind of searching for. Definitely was, like, should have been my first, resort, then instead of my last resort. So
yeah,
that's been, like, I think the biggest thing of a personal relationship is just having that that type of relationship. So yeah,
I mean, it sounds like both of you is still kind of that same thing where, like, there's a part that's needed from you. Like, he's always there waiting for us. It's it's kind of on us to engage, and be transparent and open with what we're dealing with and thinking and feeling and all of that. And then he meets us. He meets us there. So tell me, what was the hardest part of following Jesus in high school? Because you went to public school, which some of our students do, some of ours don't. We also have some homeschool students. So for you, in a public high school, what was the most difficult part about following Jesus?
Well, for both of us, we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked on the way here.
It's time. Like, we just feel like, we don't have time. We, like, we go, like, you have 7 hours of school, and then if you play sport, you go right after and you play sport for, like, 3 hours, and you come home and do homework and you eat dinner, and, like you just want to go to bed at that point. Like, you don't feel like you have time.
And it's just a constant cycle of the same thing where, you go to school, sport, and I think, like, for both of us too, we're in, like, sports most of the year, and then when you do get that moment, it's like you just almost save it for Sunday. Like, that's your kind of, like, reboot, but, like, and then sometimes you can't even go to Sunday service, or the youth group together, and it's, like, again, like, finding that time and, like, trying, like, for me too, like, trying to read the Bible, like, I feel like I want to do it so much more, and I just have, like, no time, and I come up with excuses, and, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I try to start, like a study or whatever it is, and it's like you end up doing it the last day 2 hours before or whatever, like, it's just, I think that's harder for anyone too, and definitely just with being in school like that. So
well, you're not alone in that. I mean, I think, like, as an adult, it's still there, like, still, even as someone who works for the church, even I still struggle to find that time and create that time too, because there's so many other things to do, and I'm not even in sports. Oh man, yeah. No, I had somebody. I heard somebody the other day. I don't even remember where I heard it. It was on a podcast that talked about, like, sometimes we tend to approach God as, like, we have to make him priority, which to me, I'm like, man, that just feels weird. It feels weird. It's like almost like we try to make him fit. And he said that a better way to look at it is that, like, we make him the center. And if he's the center, then it pours into everything that we do. So, and I've seen that in you two. I know you've had so many, I mean, you guys have told me over the years how many things you have to do and how many things that you're involved in. And yet, with him being your center, he still shines through you in all of those things. what would you say has changed the most in your life in your interactions with Jesus, maybe?
Well, I guess for me, because I've always had Jesus, but when I really found Jesus and I started really relying on my faith, I changed the way I thought about the future, I guess. So I don't know how to really explain it, but it was it was less worrying and anxiety for the future and more hope and confidence for it. There's things that I was maybe this is what I should do, that now I'm this is what God wants me to do. Why else would I have this gift? Or why else would I want to do this?
Yeah.
I guess it's instilled confidence and hope in me. I don't really know.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think for me, it's almost a little bit similar too. Same thing. I grew up in the faith, and I think I've always known that, about Jesus and about my, always there for me. But it wasn't until I was super shy as a kid. I just didn't talk to people, and I never really I don't know. I was just nervous. I was just shy. I don't know. I guess that's supposed to explain it. And it wasn't until middle school and then high school when I started to actually open up and use my voice, and that's when I actually started to develop my own personal relationships. I wonder if that really had a big factor in my identity, and just knowing that I was valuable and that I was loved, and having that feeling grounded in that, and then being able to then express myself how I was with my family and friends, and being able to be myself around people that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. That's been my biggest thing, and being able to speak out. I never really would raise my hand in class or go out of my way to say my opinion or whatever it was. And I think that having that that foundation in Christ just really has pushed me to use my voice in a positive way. So
awesome. Speaking to underclassmen, maybe incoming ninth graders, what is something you wish you would have known? What's something you wish someone would have told you about high school when you were going into 9th or 10th grade?
I can start first. Yeah. So I feel this kind of relates to with what I've learned the most, and it's going to God first. And just I think I wish I would have known that before, because I struggled with just being stressed about anything in high school. You're gonna have people that are not gonna they're not gonna treat you how your friends do or whatever, your family. You're gonna have that situation, or you're gonna be stressed about tests. I feel I stressed so much about just school in general, and wanting to perform and do the best I could, and it was putting those expectations on myself when really it was okay, this is, I was stressing myself out way too much, and I wish I would have known that I could have just, gone to God first and asked for that, reassurance, or asked for just to have, whatever it was that I needed, patience or whatever, and so it's I wish I would have known that I had that always, that he was just, like you said, waiting for you to come to him. So I think that would have really helped me earlier on.
Awesome.
So.
Cool.
I wish I would have known that God views us as more than a grade, or more than our success in school. In my head, I thought A+ equal God loves me, and obviously that's so stupid to say out loud, but it's something that I thought if I would get a bad grade, I'd be wow, I'm stupid, I'm a failure, God doesn't he just wants you to try. He wants you to be happy. If you just, I wish I would have known that I was worth more than that, and not put as much pressure on myself for that, and thought that God loved me less because of it, when he obviously doesn't.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, I know adults that go through their entire life and never quite grasp that our performance bears nothing on how he sees us and views us. So that's awesome. So who has had the most impact on you in your high school years, in your life? Either a person or a group of people, and what's the impact that they've had on you?
I think for me, my parents have had the greatest impact on me throughout my high school years, and just being raised by them. I've picked up a lot of their values and their beliefs, and I think the biggest thing for me is how they've found balance in everything they do. They try to find the balance in literally everything that we do in our house, and I think that's just been a really true I don't know how to say it, I guess just so important in every aspect of my life that I can just rely on. And it's just helped me be able to, like, I think see different perspectives as well, like just seeing the bigger picture as well too. So I don't know, I feel like that's just been the main thing, but just them raising me and the impact they've had, just being able, I feel like I can always trust them and come to them with anything that I feel I need to talk to them about, and they've just had a really positive impact on who I've become, and the being able to be raised in a Christian home that they've provided for us, and it's been more than I can ask for. So
Awesome.
I would say that's the biggest impact that they've had.
Yeah, and balance is huge, and I can see that even in from what I know of them, at least I've seen them like be examples of that too. Very cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Maddie?
For me, it has been honestly like this community, Kensington's community, because like when I go to school and stuff and things are like weighing down on me, or like sports are getting really hard and difficult, and there's things like, you know, I love my parents, but like there's things that like just coming from them just don't mean the same.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I would come to church, it would just be like a breath of fresh air. Or like I feel like when I would go to service, like I'd hear something that really spoke to me that couldn't be said by my mom or dad or like one of my friends. It wouldn't mean the same thing. So I guess just like having this community and something that kind of like felt like home, you know, that felt really safe,
Mm-hmm.
was something that I really needed for like going through high school, and I'm really glad that I had it.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Second to last question. So, what's a moment that has that sticks in your brain from Edge? What's a favorite memory or something that was really powerful for you, or funny, whatever, that stands out to you from your years here at Edge? Nothing memorable, so we're going
No, I can't. I'm trying to
Too
think
many.
of like, yeah. I can think of like the funny, like I guess some of the fun memories that we've had, and like I can't think of examples like in particular, but going to like the wild retreats in general were just like so much fun.
Yeah.
And like just random stuff happens. Like you can't even, I don't know, there's too much to go into.
I broke my finger at Wild.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I remember that.
Playing basketball.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
That was
I remember
memorable.
that. Yeah, really memorable.
Yeah.
My finger remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that phone call.
Yeah. Or coming to Edge every single Sunday, and Maddie, I don't know what it is. We've like nailed it. I don't know. Every single Sunday we come, and for the last it's been every year too. Like it's
Like
not
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. A ball will hit Maddie
Every time.
Well, I'll be walking, and like the 9 square, a basketball, footballs, wiffle
Yeah.
balls, like we've had it all.
It's always in the head.
And it's
I always get hit in the head.
Yes. And like I've seen sometimes where a ball comes flying out, and I have to like step in front. And I'm like, Maddie, like, because it just like they're attracted to her. I don't know what it is, but it's so random, but
It's so bad. It's like actually a curse.
Yeah.
I think.
We can get you a helmet when you're here.
I know. It's a hazard.
No, that's true. Like yes, you've had many of those.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's funny.
Yeah.
Last one. This is more about the Bible itself, because I know you were one of the ones who wanted the Bible from Grandma, right? And whenever we've had Bible studies and some of our online stuff, you were always the first to jump on. And so I'm just personally curious, like, what are either a story or a passage or a verse or even a character that really stands out to you and something that you hold on to?
So I picked out a verse that I've like just has resonated with me for a long time, and it's in, I think we might have even gone over it like within our Bible study too.
Okay.
A few years back. Let me pull it up real quick. So it's Matthew 7, 1 through 5, I think. Yeah, I can read it through real quick.
Sure.
So it says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judged others, you will be judged. And with the same measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." And I just love that verse. Like, it's so, and he's almost like kind of throwing a diss. Like, he's kind of like, what the heck are you doing? And so I just love that like character you see in Jesus too, and just that like, I feel like everyone can relate with that, where it's just like, it's so easy to judge somebody else and totally like not even realize what you're saying, and like the fact that you're even worse or whatever it is. And it's just, I think that And I've struggled, like, I struggle with just immediately judging or being hypocritical. And I think that just like really brings me back into a focus where it's like, don't be quick to judge, and just having patience with people. Or I love that verse. So yeah.
Shoot, imagine if our world just took that one lesson from Jesus, and that was the thing that we applied. Mm-hmm. Imagine just that and what that would do to the planet.
Yeah,
that's a good one. How about you, Maddie?
My favorite verse has always been Matthew 10:34. It's, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." And I've always kind of loved that, because I always kind of thought that when people like, I guess, get like mad at God because they're like, why do you not give us like perfect peace or whatever, like stuff like that. But I kind of like that because it's more like we have to fight for that peace, because we broke the peace, so we have to fight for it. And he didn't come here to like, I don't know how to, he didn't come here to like just be like, here's everything you need. Like, he gave us free will, so we have to fight for like what we want and like what we love and stuff like that. And I've always kind of thought like it applied to my life, and that things are never gonna like come easy, and you just always have to fight, but it's like what God wants. And that's for everybody too. It's not just my life. But
and you're right. I mean, like, over and over he places responsibility on us. Like when I would be tempted to be, shake my hands in the sky and be like, God, you didn't do this, God, you didn't do this, or I see evils around me and I'm like, why don't you do this, are you actually good? But what we see Jesus do, and even in cases like that, like, what's he saying? Like, hey, it's gonna be on you. Like, there's things you're gonna have to do. Like, this isn't just me, and it's gonna feel divisive to some people, especially if you're coming in to take care of the ones that other people have hurt. That's gonna feel divisive to the ones who did the hurt. So that's good. That's good. That surprised me. Like, I have never heard anybody say that was their favorite verse. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, thank you for sharing this with the students. Also, last thing, I didn't ask you this beforehand. So I just want to know, like, what is your favorite dessert? Because I'm a dessert guy right now, and I'm really hungry for some ice cream. So I'm just curious, what's your favorite kind of dessert?
I'm a sucker for brownies.
Brownies?
I'll eat brownies over cake. Like, I love brownies.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So do you put walnuts in it, or do you do anything, or is it just plain old good gooey brownies?
Just brownies. I like to put ice cream on it sometimes, like if it's like a brownie, like sundae kind of thing. Those are good. Okay. But yeah, just brownies. So good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. How about you, Maddie?
I don't know. I love ice cream cake.
That's good.
That's so good. That sounds really good right now for some reason.
Well, Culver's is right over there.
Yeah, I might have to
go. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for doing this. We appreciate you. We're so grateful to have you. And to have had you. I'm grateful to have had you in our program and at our church and got to know you and your families. I'm going to miss you, but we're going to be asking you to come back to talk to students, when you get breaks and stuff. But keep in touch and let us know what's going. And